Glad to have you. It is Crypto Sniper time. That's right. It's a Friday. Hey, it's Friday. Yep, it's good. What's the weekend going to hold for you on the crypto front? We're going to have a look at that indeed. We're also going to take a peek at the big one. Yes, Binance token, Binance Coin. He has done what he was meant to do. We'll be showing you the chart on that, how he did his target. By the way, when last did you get potential entries that could deliver an 82x RRR? In other words, risk to expansive reward 82 times. Most people don't get that. So I had a few entries that were around there. I had a few that were earlier that had deeper stops, and I actually added even when in progress. Reason being, high confidence. And when we had pullbacks, it presented opportunities. It was a very positive P&L the whole way, largely. So it was a great earner. It was a great earner, the Binance. Thank you very much to the markets. Our blessings, much gratitude for raining the cash. Always good. Remember to be grateful, then you might get more. So we like gratitude too, by the way. Shares are totally appreciated. If you want to push it through to FaceAche, Twitter, or any of the others. By the way, our reset channel videos are on library. We're unlikely to be able to put out content on any great scale on the YouTube anymore. We'll try every now and again, but likely to be, now that the first event has occurred, very closely watched. Library, LBRY. That's right, and you can access it. It becomes Odyssey through the browser. They're also on BitChute as an alternative if you're more BitChute orientated. They sometimes take a bit while longer to upload there because they have a hamster on a wheel and a little mini hard drive. So it's not, unfortunately, the mega resources of the dark state anymore. But let's talk crypto. You can also follow the Market Sniper, the Crypto Sniper, and the Reset Sniper, of course. Let's talk crypto. Let's talk Binance. Let's cover what we must cover. It was a great little runner. It gave us a squeezy. So we'll take a look at the charts right up top here. Gave us a nice little squeezy over here. Let's grab pens, get organized, change feet. Nice little squeeze for us in our funnel, which gave you a gift within a gift. You can learn all about how we elect to exploit those. Super tight risk, highly expansive reward. Hasn't taken very long. According to our time requirements, it's taken about 30% of the time we allow. That's very good. It's typical of high performance ones. You can find out how we utilize time stops and all those particular details, part of our advanced content. And you can learn how to do it for yourself. So when did it officially break for us? The date was there and then, the 30th of March. What a beautiful day it was, he says. On my birthday, it did break. And what is the day that it does a shooting star? Don't you know you are a shooting star? That's Bad Company, by the way. All the songs just keep dropping in your head when it's weekend time. 21st of April, 30th of March, 21st of April. Not bad, you might say. Not bad. Don't forget, this is quite a big token. It's not as if this is a small light version of a token. It's massive market cap. It's been pushed from when you could have entered it in and around. There was our entry as per the risk reward, 273. We were getting in a little bit earlier and we got plenty in a lot later. 273 running up to 437. 437. Someone work out the percentage on that. I'm guessing it's pretty high. I'm guessing it's about 65, 70% odd. So not half bad. And plenty of liquidity, plenty of volume. How did he go on his journey up? Let's have a look. And by the way, the value, how about those targets? What are you getting right now? If you do any form of candlestick charting, you will know that you are right now getting a shooting star. That's right. That's where the Bad Company song came in. It is a shooting star right after target. Funny that, you might think. Yes, indeed. Rising wedge into the final target. By the way, rising wedge. You'll learn about how we do wedgies. Squeezy little wedgie, squeezy. Japanesey is catchphrase. And we put the splitter on. And there, in there, right there, is indeed your shooting star through target. So will we get over performance? Well, I think in time you might, but I'm happy. I've actually gone almost 100% out. I want to rest a bit, count all the shekels. and do that. Rest a little bit. Good to get some time off the weekend. And we're going to have a look at Bitcoin and Ethereum. What is it implied for what's going next as well? That's a big, big story. So who made some green on Binance token? Let's have a look. I'm watching your comments on the other screen. Yes, I want to hear from you. Top 5 comments are answered. By the way, when this is over, we will go through those and check it out. Anyone with my face offering a WhatsApp number is a fraudster and a scammer. Block it for the other people that are not as smart as you. The more they get fed, the more they will keep perpetuating. Block them, and sometimes they'll have a little pre-comment pretending to me, nice job. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, check me out. Block them. We want to save people from getting burnt, even if they're slightly dim. And also, we want to help you build wealth. How do you do that? Well, you grab the mini series below, which is known as the free trade course on the link below. You grab it, you click it, and you register, and you get a video a day. You can start that right now if you haven't done it already. And you will get learnings that'll take you forward, no cost at all. If you want to do something a little bit more out there and move it up a bit, you can book a call and you will get 2 options given to you, high road and more affordable road, depending on where you're at, nicely explained to you by someone who made the same decisions himself a couple of years before you. Okay, let's have a look at some of those others. Can you see that Binance pulling back right now? Can you see the value of targets, by the way? Man, oh man, there will be some people that were chasing in today. Somebody was on the other side of my sells, Somebody, there's always somebody. For market to be liquid, there's always someone selling. A rising wedge into a target means 2 things. You're going to possibly have a pop out the top and then fizzle, type 2, or you're going to moon shoot up, which is not currently being permissioned in my worldview by the Bitcoin Ethereum environment going into a weekend, or you're going to have, after that pop up, you're going to have a little bit of a retrace of some value. Don't forget, a target is kind of useful. We saw that also on previous stars. We've given a lot of trades that have made targets, by the way. So other ones that have made target today on this here lovely free channel for you without having to watch any adverts. Look at that. That rising wedge almost falls perfectly into the same environment for VET. But VET's target was to an 11. So I've just literally changed tokens and it's like almost a perfect overlay. It's kind of cool that. I'm going to take it off though because it wasn't drawn with that intention. But similar type structure. Just done really, really well, VET, and is now at the 11.28. Through the 11.28 target and going a little beyond. Let's have a look at other ones that we gave you that we're no longer in. BTT running the first. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We ran that target. We had overperformance. Now having a bit of a down leg and being a bit softer. I still have high hopes for picking this one back up, but I'm glad to be out. Battling. See the resistance. Key round number. The one. The unitary. The numero uno. Who's the numero uno? Crypto technical YouTube channel. If you know, let us know in the comments. You're fired. That's it. So what else have we got that we've been looking at? A couple of things we did mention and we've been discussing a lot in the premium guys. Litecoin, if we get a stage 2, which I think we will, we'll be coming to Ethereum and Bitcoin, could be interesting for you. So we think it might be a little soft. There's a chance this rolls over first in terms of Litecoin. I want to just try yeah, that's a bit of a mess. It always happens when you stream, all these other things coming on. Let's just try to do that again. It keeps bouncing back. There's a bug in this thing and it keeps magnifying it. Sorry, guys. Yeah. That's going to require a different trading view. Sorry about that. I'm going to leave that. Litecoin will go to it from a different trading view. There is a bug in the system. It's the CIA. They don't want you to make money in crypto. Okay, so let's pivot onto Bitcoin instead, and we'll go have a look at that Litecoin chart. It won't let me make it change its shape. Sometimes when you're streaming and there's so many things running, the tech freaks out. So what about Bitcoin? What's going on? I mean, we shared that in our opinion, it's not about the 60K mark. It's not about the 60K mark being resistance. It was about the 57K being a degrading level of support, and that you're going to need a stab through the 57K. And we even found a head and shoulder that could have meant, doesn't guarantee, doesn't actually means there was a risk of a possible downside even to around 54K on what we call a worked head and shoulder. But now that it's played out a little bit more, it did break the 57K. It didn't run through the resistance as many thought of the 60K yet, although we still say this is coming, but we were more interested in what I was going to do short term because that was affecting our alt market draw. So when you look at this overview, we have a couple of thoughts that we've shared with you before. So let's recap some of them that have been made. We have the rolling over bent banana that shows some degree of softening at these levels. So let's just go straight up to the 4 hour. Can do it from around here. I did show you this and I will show you it again. And it was just showing a degree of loss of momentum. So let's go with a fat pen, kids Koki. For the big kid. That was, in essence, a little bit of a rolling over banana. So we were battling to make significantly higher highs. The higher highs, the current all-time high, is actually a bit of a stake in the ground. So what we're saying is we can't just go down once and pump and make a whole new high. Actually, we're going down quite a bit and only going marginally higher. What typically happens, we are still in a macro bull. We are in a macro bull. We're still expecting overperformance. You're getting overperformance. The original target was 27. We told you you'd get overperformance. We did a first cup gold nugget. Remember that? The Fibbo. And we got a key level, and that was 54K. That's a line that runs from there right across. That is a 2.618. Fibonacci extension perfectly from our macro continuation pattern. It makes sense that in running that you convex out and then you do what we refer to as squaring up. So we'll go with a different color and this could indeed be that process of squaring up. So you symmetricalize and you build along a level, and the level will be sitting on top of and through. Often the most significant levels run through price behavior. Everybody tends to just talk, it's all about the 60K or it's all about the 50K. Yes, those are key levels of significance, but actually price behavior interacts with key levels all the time and trades on either side of them, not just at the extremities. Everybody's eyes is to the very top and to the very lows, the recent lows. That's classic what I'd call technical analyst error, and we're probably one of the only people that focus on key levels of significance that go through existing theory, that go through existing levels. For example, on that point, a little bit of teaching for you today. If you have a sine wave, many of you are familiar, you will have had something like this at school. The traditional technical analyst will go, well, it's all about the support along the bottom and the resistance across the top, when in actual fact, it may quite possibly be the pivoting equally around either side of a key level that runs through it. Now, that is a sine wave with its zero level. Now, in fact, imagine instead of having equal sine waves, you actually got some compression on that. In other words, it went like that, and your pink line, whoops, your pink line squeezed. Way, I'm still in rubber mode. That's not going well. The drawing's not going well. Tech blunders today. It's going to be one of those kind of techie blunder ones. That's your most significant level. In that instance, it would be 32K. It runs through there. So those are concepts that we focus on and that you'll learn more about as an HVF method trader. So what's going on here with Bitcoin? So overall, we've shown that, look, this fib level might have been quite critical. It sits on the 54. It's not a logical number as much as a 60 or a 50 would be to somebody. You're hanging on it. What do? We wind up. We've already done a possible forecast some time ago as to where that might go, and it brings you to the gateway of 70. It's a 68,400 if and when the larger symmetrical structure finishes. So it's one of many scenarios we looked at, but we were also looking for that short-term sell-off. So let's see how we've done on that. Let's go in on a shorter time. This is the analysis of your biggest market. It is a totally relevant and important thing to do. Even if you're all alts right now, it is the most important thing you can do for yourself. And it is very, very valuable analysis. So if I put that on, you'll see a couple of things that we've been drawing. All of this is our version of technical analysis just on the most recent impulse. Remember, this one failed to take out the previous high. That's part of what I'm calling the bent banana, the blue banana effect that you were getting over there. It's a bit of a lean, and that's why you've had to rewind up again before you go again. And what did we then get? Well, there's a couple of things that are going on here. So you'll see it's quite a busy chart, quite a lot of annotations. This is kind of what I'm doing to show mainly to the community area guys, for which it'll mean things. But we were suggesting that this area would see a break rather than the 60K. That occurred. And there was a follow through to our next most significant level. If you're regular followers of this channel, you will know the 555, 55,500. Key level from a number of necklines of head and shoulders and other price behavior activity. We've also had the 57 and the 59.5. Just prior to your 60, which was also necklines of activity. So these levels are very, very important. You fell that far and you went no further. There was, and still is valid, but I think the probability is greatly reduced, a downside target which would have seen you also run the 54K, which I've already told you all about and its relevance, for which this whole structure is setting up on. It can still happen. I'd just put the probability significantly lower than when we were sitting here leaning on this broadening structure, which was all coming out of a very bearish sell-off and a bounce on that neckline. The neckline, that same 57K that was a neckline previously in other head and shoulders. Isn't that interesting? I love this stuff. You just get synchronicity all the time. So that bounce right there, boom, bounced on the 555, 55.5K level. Fascinating. Didn't press on through the 54. Built a kind of reversal. You got a little bit of a return move to the 57. You came down. You got another return to the 57. You came back. So you almost had an acceptable inverted head and shoulder, which would have taken you 55.5 to 57. Let's just do it roughly. Bear with me. 1,500. 1,500 onto the 57. Well, you know you're going to get a 58,500. Did you run the 58,500? Yeah, you did just. You did just. Isn't that beautiful? Price behavior and patterns. And what was that 58,500? It's actually closer to 58,500 because it was slightly more than 1,500. You went just a little bit through that, a little bit deeper, so it would have come closer to the 58.6, that was the neckline on this monarch. That little head and shoulder did make target. That's why we were paying attention to the possibility of the larger one. You had a little one that had already performed, and this is the relative high. That was your high water mark for this second impulse all here, coming down here. So those are a couple of annotations of thought. What's happening now? An up move on a pole, but also a broadening structure that's heading up. We think this could soften a little bit. We think it could soften, and it has already. We thought it would soften when I was giving the update to premium at the 58.6 and at the top of this larger drifting broadening structure here. But it's not violent. It's not having a violent sell-off. It's kind of in, here's our splitter there. It's kind of down leg, zigging and zagging, getting broad, up, down leg, up, and then getting slightly more thrashy there. So I think an indifferent period for Bitcoin. That's not been bad. Binance has finished to target while Bitcoin was just mucking around in this range here. While Bitcoin was mucking around in that price range, Binance was at one point as low as 360s and it's finished 437. It's perfect. So actually, mucking about for Bitcoin is not bad. The only thing you don't really want is an absolute bedwet. That makes all the alts a sell-off, and that's not positive for your overall situation. Good. So we watch and talk about Bitcoin regularly. We're continually scenario casting for it. It is a key God market, and we have our methodology that approaches it. And you can learn to do this too. It's totally transferable skill. I'm not a guru. I'm the only non-guru that says he's a non-guru. Other non-gurus, gurus call themselves gurus. Only I can do this. You must follow me because I am magical. Magic, look into my eyes, fantasize. No, not at all. You can do it as well. It's totally transferable, and then you can bugger off and do it for yourself if you want. That's what you want. No problem. So, as I say, find out how to do it. Absolutely. Likes 122, 375 watching. That's pretty cool. Just before the weekend. That's not bad. Don't forget the shares are valuable. So let's talk about Ethereum a little bit. So we're talking Bitcoin's, it has sold off a little bit, but it's still in its megaphone here. It could come back down and smack about and then maybe have a little bit of an easing. We could visit the 57K again. And if you're unlucky, you might visit the 55, and at the very bottom here, the 54 isn't ruled out entirely if you had a substantial spill. That'll catch a number of people by surprise, be quite uncomfortable. Think Binance's shooting star way up at 437. It'll look like we sold the top again. We got lucky and sold the top. That's the amazing thing about targets. You get lucky and sell the top. I never sold the top. I always tried to buy the bottom and sell the top, and I always cocked it up and always lost money until I stopped trying to buy the bottom and sell the top and started trading HVF that I developed. Then I often ended up selling the top. That's the value of a target. You get run and you can get positive slippage if the market gaps. But when you panic selling and panic buying, you only get terrible slippage, the wrong kind of slippage. It's funny that way. Fantasize and agonize, he says. Yes, he does indeed. Dash is enjoying the show. Check VRA, says somebody. Yep, so we're going to go over to Ethereum. So let's go there. The goddess, the second most important. Been a little bit of an underperformer for a while, but actually we're exceedingly bullish. We think it's going to get its running shoes, not right this second, bullish. We're optimistic. We're macro bulls, crypto. Okay, let's get that clear. Big time frame, macro bulls. I'm talking about knocking on the door for 70 for Bitcoin, but not this weekend. In fact, it's probably might even soften a bit for me this in terms of this, and it still has to set up a nice third impulse. I think it might be doing a first, the all-time high at the H1 there, a secondary impulse. That's where we were looking at head and shoulders, broadening structures, all that detail that you saw just now. That's like the second one, maybe a little bit coming off, and then again another rise. It needs a period of shaking its head. It's down a lot of tequila, and it's a little bit bubbleless and hungover. It needs that kip at this level, a little bit of water and a greasy meal with a bit of chili con carne, and then it's going to shake its head, have a dodgy crap, and then it's going to maybe go to the upside again, and it'll be right as rain. So it's got a little bit, it's partied hard. It's got a little bit to work through here. So in the same way, I'm a macro bull Ethereum, and I still expect, still going on about FBTC. That one will come. It's just gas prices certainly put a little bit of a problem under Ethereum. But I think somewhere or another they're going to get that sorted out, and I expect 6.6% value of an Ethereum to Bitcoin. I did the maths for you last time, even at 60K or 58K, whatever, go and do the numbers. 6.6% is a big amount. 7% on 60K is about 4.2. So you're a 3.8 if Bitcoin flatlined, which I don't think it'll do. So I still hold good thoughts for what Ethereum will do. But there's new stars that are shining brighter, climbing faster. We saw BNB. I actually quite like FTT, by the way. I am an FTX trader now. Thanks to my community, they woke me up. There's lots of learning going upwards here and sideways and downwards and in all directions. We look after each other. And I will be putting a FTX link below if you in future for you guys should you wish to go trade that exchange. So a lot of the charts I'll start doing will be on the FTX perp. And I'll be doing the numbers here. In fact, this is the F perp, for example. So you can get good liquidity. You've got a spot market. You've got a derived market. It's handy and it's not as ugly to use as Binance. I spent all morning trying to do a leverage trade on the derivative markets. You can only do Tether. You got to sell your crypto to get Tether to then get leverage to buy more crypto. It's like, what? Yeah, anyway, that wallet handling is just a nightmare. Anyway, enough moaning about Binance. We've made a lot of money on their token. Thank you. Namaste. Funds are safe. Top banana. Okay, so Ethereum. Let's talk about him. This is not the one I need. I needed the one there. And that is the dodgy one. Reload that. Let's see if we can fix that because I've got different layouts. I'm not sure that's going to fix. So what we've got over here for Ethereum is we have a 2,570 plus target. And overall, if I just draw shorthand here for you. In the middle, Cyril. Put your splitter in the middle. So our overall view is that it's bullish, that you've had a good run up and that you're now shaking your head as well in terms of Ethereum, a little bit of a broadening. Generally, this points to upside continuation if the pole is upside. And over here, you have a squeezy Japanese on a bigger time frame with the target through 2.5 heading to 2.6s. So that's going to be a pretty decent move, even if you're at about 2,000 now. I think this will come off possibly over the week. In fact, it's already looking a bit softer. I think you can come off in here a little bit. You might bounce on your splitter. If we really have a bedwetting moment, you might make the low end. I don't think so. I don't think it'll be that bad. I think in and around here might be an accumulation zone for you on Ethereum, and then you can hold for the run up, providing you're not over leveraged, and you're forced to have a stop, because then you'll need to put stops there and hope for the best. You can hold through 2,570 odd, and that should be a very nice move. If you're buying it at 2,000 or sub 2,000 and you're picking up $600 because you're in at 1950 or 19 whatever, you're going to do quite well. And it's very liquid. You can get in and out. You can trade perps on it. You can do a lot. In fact, I like collateral that is not so risky, but is in broadly bullish, slightly more stable coins. Now, it's difficult to say that Ethereum can't be volatile. It can be very volatile, but it's certainly not having your collateral in a shitcoin. So Bitcoin and Ethereum as collateral is nice. It's a pain in the ass to have to hold it in fiat and then do leverage trades. So it's nice to just have a growing hodl collateral pot in your orange pot of moderate leverage. Remember, we only go into the hot pot on really confident occasions. So it's been a very good last 10 days for me. Truly grateful to the altcoin market. Look, everyone's a hero in a bull market, but I actually even took money out of that spill on the short side of Bitcoin with shoot and scooting. So it's sometimes you have a period where everything is largely worked. And it has been one of those, and we're delighted for it. But usually for most people, that's in bull markets. So the true trading skills is when you can also have made some money on the short side as well. Although it's not a recommendation to short in this market generally. You've got to be on the screens and you've got to be quick. So they were kind of more scalps than anything. So what are your comments? Let's have a chat and see what you say. So other is a question that people, and this is one of the disappointments. So we must address that and own the things that haven't gone well, because we've spoken quite a bit about ADA, and he's been disappointing relative to the performance of so many around him. And one particular platform, I had almost an ADA account. I had it as my security, and I'd levered up on it as well. The one reason why it wasn't a Binance is that it started losing momentum on its journey up. It didn't have that nice isolated pump mega spike high that ADA had. ADA had structure that more represents this. This one started losing momentum, and again, you can see a broadening structure on a bullish pole. So it got a bit more fatigued. So it's having to shake its head out with these falling wedges, pumps, falling wedges. But in time, lots of news due in August on it, and possibly a few things that might drop before. In time, I'm seeing it doing that 170 target. It's just you don't want to be too many resources stuck in the one that's not moving in an environment where there's lots of other things moving. So, you could have been in VET, which a lot of the community members were in, which I've already showed. You could have been in BTT while ADA was making up its mind. We've shown you that already. In fact, who rewarded me, who I've been mean to before, was Ripple. Ripple was a great reward, and in actual fact, I would be a buyer on a pullback around here again. This one did target again. I'm sorry, there's no lines on the charts. The browser that has it on is freaked out, so there's no draws. But it made a beautiful target, and we got out on the 107. I gave that to you on this channel. And if you follow Twitter, you even got a reminder. So you're getting some trades thrown your way. Of course, the premium guys get all this information before and are in it earlier than you. But nonetheless, you could have made a lot of tom off of that trade. And by the way, the target, how was that for targeting? 107 is roughly there, in between the 106.2 and the 109. And since then, it's down. It's a beautiful trade. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade. And it was really, really profitable. I mean, that one was not even my biggest trade, but it was still $250,000 out of nowhere. It was just marvelous. So we got waiting for a down leg for me, and I would like to engage again, because it could indeed be, if we get wave 2, my suspicion is wave 2 of alt season will come. The requirements for that is Bitcoin just to be going super low volatility, in that symmetrical leveling out, chill. And we'll have some up legs, some down legs, but not too violent, not too violent. And we're going to continue to get some good alt runs. This does look, I still feel this weekend we could be off a little bit. I don't know why, but just off a little bit. I feel a few of them need that. But you don't always get what you think they need. You get whatever the market decides to give you. But it just feels that. And when I think of that bull pole, broadening structure, Bitcoin was up strong, and then it's up more thrashy with the volatility increasing, recording some amazing new super advanced head and shoulder masterclass on head and shoulders. As you start to get volatility is such a key thing, and we bring that into head and shoulder analysis as well. Really looking forward to when we get to record that. Having to do amazing diagrams, it takes a lot of time, but it's such a big feature. So because of that increase in volatility and that slowing of momentum, the next logical stage is actually not much upside, quite a bit of sideways, and probably quite potentially a bit off, coming off. But that doesn't mean we're a bear of crypto. Macro, we're a bull. Medium time frame, we even going to be bullish with symmetricalization, as I've described. But short term, you could be off first. So this would be a buy, sub $1. I actually think Ripple is a great buy, sub $1. So you'll get people, can you have bankers token? Man, the CIA, the control structures everywhere in all these cryptos. If they weren't, we wouldn't be getting away with it. They will never let you have your own money. So they either control it or they're about to control it. Simple as that. So, I mean, if it's going to make money and you want to be a wealthier slave, take the trade. There's decent liquidity. Yep. So yes, sharing the link, by the way, for you to book the call and that is in the details there. Feel free to jump on in, grab your free trading course in the link below. Book and get that. If you are not resourced for crypto trading just yet, you will get there, and we will help take you in that direction. Let's have a look at some of the bigger aggregated charts, and then we'll wrap. Total 2, it's been a massive move. So let's just minimize that. So that's been a great break. Note you got a hard sell there, and then you got a more vicious one there, and you are now double topping and a small amount of rollover already at this 840 billion mark. Just smells like a little bit off. And I look at Binance token, and it's almost like a microcosm of some of the old markets. I am not heavily long right now. I've had a whole bunch of things make target, and I'm happy to consolidate and sit in that cash. To wade in now is, I think, foolish. I think you'll get a better opportunity, and entries absolutely matter. We've got to keep our Hexagon friends happy, which will piss a lot of other people off, but I'm not responsible for that. This particular HVF is moving quite swimmingly, by the way. Yep, it is. It's a bit more involved to buy. You have to learn how to do it. If you're a dope like me, it takes a bit of doing. But you're loading up on Hex against the USDC. This is a 12-hour chart. The black background, it's too much for me. But that's Uniswap. I could probably change it somewhere. Version 2, remember, if you're looking at the charts for these smaller tokens on the ERC20. But when I say smaller, still got a good market cap, good moves, nice little wind-up structure right there. Very compliant to HVF, pure chart. This points to non-manipulated behavior. This points to natural technical charts. And I can smell the garbage ones, and I'm telling you that this is a great structure. And it's been performing very nicely. You could have been loading up at the 0.8s and the 0.9s in this zone, which I was doing when it was over here. I was already in from a while ago. In fairness, it had flatlined and not done much relative because ETH had been super strong. It actually lost ground to ETH. We'll have a look at that ETH chart. But now, I've got a target and some sale orders in and around 2333.24. That is better part of almost a 2.5 times if you're in at 8s and 9s, 0.8s and 0.9s. Now you're at almost 2.3 cents. Currently trading 2.1 cents. And I will hold some over, and then I will stake it. Yeah, stake it. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's get some interest. The longer you stake, the more you get, the higher the rate. Let's just for fun show you the ETH chart on that, because it is ERC token. So the interesting thing about this is the falling wedge, big ass falling wedge. A lot of this has to do with Ethereum's initial strength. So it's been very, very dominant. You were losing money by not being in Ethereum, but there was very big spikes as well within that. But overall down, squeezy, and you're broken out. You've broken out, and you're actually in a smaller time frame. So this is again the 12-hour. Your first of a potential upside. So I am taking my chances, and I am staking and I am trading. And this is against Ethereum, which we are already bullish. We are already bullish. Let's show you that smaller pattern on a smaller time frame. Let's show it to you on 2. Seeing as there were a few folk wanting the update on Hex, we are happy to oblige amongst many other tokens over there. So nice support on the funnels, so dips and gets bought back up, making slow and reasonable progress against a strong token. And that points to 13.210 for a little bit of a distribution and a bit of a rest after that. But actually, imagine, and I don't want to get your greed genie going, and I'm not a shiller for any token, just technically it's interesting because it's now setting up HVF structure. That's what I'm interested in. Imagine on this bigger time frame, you got that. And you maybe made a number like 34. And you could have it for sub 2. Is it sub 2? No, sub 1.3, and you would be at 3.4. That could be a 3x in F terms, which we're calling a 25% upside on. So it could be fun. Could be fun, but there might not be other places. It might not suit everybody. But seeing as I was asked, you have your answer. So we were at total. What about total with Bitcoin? Oh, we should probably do Bitcoin dominance as well. But let's just do total with Bitcoin. So the total with Bitcoin, that means the alt effect is in there, but it's diluted by the Bitcoin effect, which is 1.1, 1.2 trillion in scale. So again, everything points to, and remember, we're the 3 impulses in a rising and falling wedge, guys. We taught it to you, and you can learn the full extent of it far better. Now a bit choppy, bit complex here, double top. Is it insane of me to suggest a revisit maybe to that funnel before a major move to the upside? Drop your splitter in, drop your splitter. Look at that pullback to your splitter in there on rough draw. I don't think it is. I don't think it is to have a mild off is not the end of the world. A mild off is not the end of the world. Is it a storm in long weekend right now? In my worldview, short term, no. Will there be buying opportunities on lower points potentially throughout this weekend, maybe even carrying into Monday, Tuesday? Might take some news. I think so, yes. And then you'll be in a better place to see. So that's the total chart, which is squeezing higher in a rising wedge, which means ever since this move here to this high point, you've been doing one of the trickiest ways of going up. A little bit up, marginally higher high. As soon as the guys go, new highs, it's the perfect time to make sure you're out. Down, see it? New highs, woohoo! Down, new highs, down, new highs, down, same high, down. Okay, so that's kind of how it goes. Let's do Bitcoin dominance, and then I'll probably let you guys go and enjoy your weekends. Not going to do too many requests today because I don't think the macro environment is right for major bull calls. I want to let you go. Get off the screens. Leave YouTube alone. Start following us on Library and BitChute. Just in the unlikely event we become that unpopular with the great tech oligarchies. They said of my third resets night, medical inaccuracies, they said. Medical inaccuracies. So now YouTube and Google are the purveyor of medical truths. And what gets to stay and what doesn't. What about financial lies as spurned by the Fed non-stop? What about a complete deceptive society that is ripping everybody off? So we highlighted this. Right here inside premium as well as an inverted structure after that sell-off, and said there's going to be a down leg in BTC dominance. And there has been. And that has been what you've been milking if you were in the likes of Binance, BTT, VETCHAIN, that is, VET, and all the others, Ethereum even to a degree recently. That is what you've been benefiting from. That structure was very clear. So that was another reason why we said, guys, be alts, be alts, be alts, be alts. Remember, we haven't always been. I was the Bitcoin dominance guy for a while, when all the other things weren't quite moving and Bitcoin kept going and everyone was like, when's the altcoins going to run? You have to be aware of what Bitcoin dominance is doing as a chart, and it was a sell. Is it going to be as clear cut as this now? Not sure. Let's go out to the bigger time frame. I don't think it'll be that easy. Kind of a bit like the dollar. We should keep an eye on the dollar. So that's coming down again. That would give you a 72.5 last high. You trended down, you snap back up, marginally higher high. Those are fatal, really they are. And that's pretty hard. So the world is realizing, the institutions are realizing there's more than one token. and that there's other parts of the market to be served. And I'm expecting that quite possibly could continue now. You might find that for this bear into bull market, this might be the high water mark for Bitcoin as dominance. In the same way that prior to the other spell, you had the bull market into here, and then this was the bear market. So I think overall the BT dominance chart, largely long run, super long run, macro, goes down because there's so many other things. Yeah, that's my overall view, and I think we could have had that top in there. We're still going to keep going up, and I think that for that you need dominance to go down. Okay, what do you guys say? Any questions? Good to see. Horem's in the house. Over the target with the truth bombs, and they don't like it. Yeah, DMC, I'm afraid it is. Too much truth hurts. They'll take your channel away. Turns out we all should have bought just Hex ages ago. Yep, it's done pretty damn well. Other things have too, though. 1 inch and Pancake. 1 inch is getting a lot of attention, and I think there's good things to happen there. I think I mentioned FTT. I think it's a better platform actually than Binance. I think the tokens, it's got most of what Binance has, only working better. It's at a lower price point. Actually, I will show you that as a parting gift, why I have been adding it as some blue pot security in the platform specifically. You can stake, you can do other things with it, and I'm okay with that. It's good to get a yield. I'll just get it up, FTT. Let's get the perp. I already have it? Yeah, I do. So we have a super macro target that is still outstanding on this one. But again, as I say, slightly non-standard draw. It's higher, it's around 53 odd. And I still say that we might come off a bit first. It might not come off as much, but it'll do that. One other that we put in our community is Mana. Decentraland. So let's see if I can give you a quick peek on that one. Our guys are in, those that want, so you can chase in after us now. Bear in mind, as I say, as ever with us, we're showing you things that are of interest to us, and we may already have our positions in. Let's go Binance. That's why we like it. And actually, I think it's already broken. But maybe having, again, like the other things, a little bit of a pullback. So to get in on what we, some of the ideas that can help you earn your way into our wealth building society and community during these crazy ass times. And remember, it's not what you make, it's also what you keep. You need to think about, if you're serious, this is for serious people, you can have a paid for call for the better part of 45 minutes, getting the structure, and that can count towards potentially getting your structure in place. If you don't want to take it any further, that's fine. You know what you need to do. You need an email, support@themarketsniper.com if you want to do that. But this fella could buy your way into an amazing community like ours, or somebody else's for that matter, and also get you structure to protect your wealth. Think about that. And you won't need to be oversized or over large. It's got a good move on it.
Did you look at Litecoin?
Litecoin, we were spoilt and we didn't go back. So we will do Litecoin to make sure we always stick to our promises, because that's a code of great significance to me. And we will call it a day on that. Litecoin, FTX. I already had it, man. Why am I not seeing these things? I can't find them when I have 10 in a list. How do I ever find them when I have 200? That's why we like Litecoin. And the boys in our lot that wanted to be in this are in it. Again, same principles. We get very good at doing one thing very well. And there's others like this that we've looked past that have similar but just aren't as good quality. This is decent enough. That was a good break, but it got badly hit there. And I think a little bit of a rising wedge risk there. So I think it might give a second chance. So you could get in low, and we're calling for 300 to fall on that. So if you get it low 200s, you could have going on a third in the name of trading alts. But don't chase after this video and crash and smack the stack with your market-based orders on that. Entries absolutely matter. If you get dipped down, you're going to get washed out. If you're using too much leverage, you're going to get washed out. Think none of this is advice. We are not regulated. We are just talking about our trades as fellow traders to other traders. Some of the things, there's many other things that we are looking at in our community that will stay there. If you want to find out more about those and why they might be nice, you've got a good few set of ideas there, quite a lot for you to contemplate. We hope you enjoy that. Enjoy your weekend, get some time off. 472 of you watching. Glad to have you. It's been an amazing last week, 10 days. We've had targets performing all over the place. You could be in all of those. Ripple, BTT, VET, Binance token finishing today. Yes, today, just in time for the weekend. There's some beer drinking money. Maybe we should get started. On that note, I salute you and send you on your way. Enjoy yourselves.